On the West Coast and East Coast, they will applaud you for taking risks. And if you fail, you don't end up on their blacklist of, well, that's a person that failed, we'll never invest in them again. They applaud you and they wait for your next idea.
Hey guys, we are here at Y Texas at the Cowboys Stadium. This is an event for companies that are coming to Texas for economic development. And I'm sitting here with Bob Fabio, who's a gentleman who's started and sold several companies, and a few years ago got into digital assets and crypto. And love to hear a little bit, sir, about your journey to where you are now, which is running a Quant fund, and with some unique methodological components that are a little bit different than the Wall Street fund, quant funds. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I've run 10 companies, started 8. Most of them have been successful, all in the tech and healthcare IT space, and healthcare delivery. And I decided 2 years ago that I was going to go off and do something again different. In fact, all my ventures have been different and in different industries. So I'm not afraid to move around. I'm not afraid to think differently. And so I went to work to build an automated trading system for crypto, take advantage of the inefficiencies and volatility that the market has. It scares most people. For us, we applaud every day when it's going up and down like crazy, because you make money long or you make money short, if you know what you're doing. And so dusted off 2 computer science degrees, hadn't programmed in 35 years, and started to learn how to program Python and Quant and crypto and all the good stuff that goes with it. But the fundamental difference, and it's true with every venture I get involved in, is I think differently about things. I generally start ventures in industries that I know nothing about. So I knew nothing about Quant, nothing about trading crypto in an automated fashion. And so while the Wall Street guys start with math, which of course what I do has math in it, but I said, what if you could build a brain? And what if you could leverage machine learning and AI to ultimately have the brain think and learn and all this kind of good stuff? And lo and behold, what came out of it now is some phenomenal performance, a team of 4 of us. And we're, in fact, just in the throes of raising our first fund. But it's a truly novel approach. And we're excited about where it's going to take us.
That is exciting. And you're based in Austin.
Based in Austin.
Was that just a result of your healthcare tech ventures, or did you relocate there recently?
No, I moved to Austin in 1987. I was recruited by IBM. And I spent a couple years with IBM. And then I started a company called Tivoli Systems, which was the first enterprise software company that was venture-backed. It created the 3rd largest software category in the world at the time. And people will say put Austin on the map from a technology perspective. So I have been in Austin now since almost 40 years.
That's awesome. It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I was born in Austin about 40 years ago, 36 years ago.
Yeah.
And
I'm old enough to be your dad.
Yeah. Even then, it was. I lived out in North Austin, where 183 was a 2-lane road.
Yep.
And I'm saying like 1 lane one way and 1 lane the other way. There was like traffic lights.
Yeah.
And now
it's
an 8-lane highway
with new bridges and overpasses being built every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is crazy. It is crazy. It's growing like crazy. Well, we like to think that Texas is sort of the beating heart of digital asset innovation in the U.S., a state that's willing to sort of buck the trends, the federal trends, which has been more restrictive and a little bit less open to innovation. Right. We found that the state government here is open to innovation, and they want to make sure that Texas takes advantage of this, because the microchip, the integrated circuit, as you know, was developed with Texas Instruments.
Yep.
But it was monetized in California.
Right.
How do we make sure that Texas does not miss that? And Austin, is they call it Silicon Hills, right?
They have for a long time.
But we want to be the
right.
place, and I think digital assets is the next wave of innovation that could be grasped and taken a hold of here. Of course, it's a global industry, but but even software is a global industry too. There are places where there's hubs of talent and innovation and capital, and the Texas Triangle, Dallas, Houston, Austin, I think is perfect for that.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I think for a long time, I'll speak to Austin in particular. It's gotten almost more attention than it deserved, and being a Silicon Hills and the next where the hub of where innovation is occurring. And the truth is, for years we only had a few companies and a few entrepreneurs actually out there making it happen. Today that's different. There's lots and lots of companies, lots and lots of entrepreneurs. I'm affiliated with the Capital Factory, was an early partner there, and and so it's thriving. I think as the last conversation in the other room was going, there's a dearth of capital. There's not enough. There's never been enough venture capital, but as importantly, enough thinking about how you invest in entrepreneurs. If I came from the East Coast, had been involved in a venture-backed startup before moving to Austin. I was a venture capitalist for 7 years, so I worked with folks from the East Coast and the West Coast and in Texas. And the truth is, on the West Coast and East Coast, they will applaud you for taking risks. And if you fail, you don't end up on their blacklist of, well, that's a person that failed, we'll never invest in them again. They applaud you and they wait for your next idea because they know it's hard to do. For the longest time, the folks that ran these venture capital firms didn't view entrepreneurs that way. We're all disposable things. If we didn't make it work, you were done. And that's not how we operate. We get up, we have ideas, we work our rear ends off, or the good ones do, daily. I mean, I've done all these companies, I'm still doing it. I don't need to do it, but I'm wired this way, right? And so it starts with having people that will back those of us that think differently, have the courage to change the rules, disrupt industries, and fund them. And if they fail, and fund them again then. And that's what...
You've invested in their lessons learned.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. And this stuff is really hard. People think it's easy. I mean, I had done 3 startups in a row, and each of them was a success. And everything in the press was, this guy's got the Midas touch. And I think, I work 80 hours a week to do this. This is hard. And then so much of it is luck. And so money, we need a lot more of it. And then people behind the money that get entrepreneurs.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think it's especially in Dallas, there's this mentality, a lot of real estate investors, a lot of commodities investors, just traditional family offices. It's just not the same mentality as an investor.
No.
So a little bit more risk taking is what we need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bob, last question for you.
Sure.
As you're here, what do you see in the summit here? Why Texas? What are the things that the legislature needs to do to make Texas more competitive for the vision that you've just described?
Well, that's a great question. I think there's got to be some incentives put in place to attract the big dollars. And let me be clear. When we talk about venture capital, first off, there's venture capital and there's private equity capital, and they're different. And we have a lot of early stage. Not a lot, sorry. We have a reasonable amount of early stage venture capital in Texas, primarily in Austin. But after the seed round and the A round, there's nothing. And all of the entrepreneurs, myself included, had to go to California and had to go to New York and had to go wherever you could to find the guys that wanted to invest in the next rounds and the next rounds, ultimately to get it to a place of liquidity. And so I think the state needs to put incentives in place to attract the big name firms.
Like investment banks or?
Not investment banks,
venture
venture capital firms and private equity firms to put feet on the ground here.
Okay. Like Sequoia and
all those guys. Yeah. If not, what's the incentive?
I recently Vista relocated to Austin, right?
No, Vista's been here for a long time.
About 5 or 6 years?
No.
Long before that? Okay.
Yeah, they've been a huge private equity firm.
Based out of Austin.
One of the most successful out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Brian Sheath just left He was one of the founders, and he left and started a new firm.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's some good insights. More risk taking, incentives around relocation of some of these VC funds.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like the VC funds follow the founders. So if we get more founders, we get more. But it's sort of a chicken and the egg.
The
problem.
money comes first.
Okay.
Then the founders and innovation come next.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good insight.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on the show.
Yeah. My pleasure. Thank you.